cause. The creation exhibits obvious attributes, right?
Yes. Heat.
Time.
Speed.
Precisely.
Everything.
Right? So if that's true for the things that are dependent upon the cause, it must necessarily be true that the cause has to have attributes in order to bring things into existence that exhibit attributes.
Not you again.
Yes, obviously.
So one of the obvious attributes of the cause has to be the following: that it has to have a certain level of power. Because a thing,
As in the source of the creation of the
So the source of the creation has to have the attribute of power. Because a powerless thing is as good as nothing. Make sense so far?
You need to have something to
Give it. Yeah, exactly. Like the Arabs say, right? You've got to have something to give it. So you have that, the attribute of power. You have to have, this thing has to have the attribute of knowledge. Why? Because
a perfect world.
Precisely. Nail on the head, right? At the beginning of this universe, they're telling us that there were 4 fundamental constants that needed to be there in order for the universe to come about, from a point of relative chaos to a point of relative harmony. Right? The 4 constants being gravitation, electromagnetism, and the 2 nuclear forces, the weak and the strong. Finely tuned, they say. Right? Look at us. Yeah, look at us. Beautiful creation, having the ability to think at the abstract level, such that we look into the world and we find things like the Fibonacci sequence, the golden rule, right? It's incredible. So the world is exhibiting a certain level of precision and mathematics that we as human beings
Can apply to everything.
that we firstly figured out, and then we apply it to the world around us.
And then we get philosophical.
And then we're in a position to recognize that if things have attributes, the cause must have attributes of an umpteenth level. So it must have been far more powerful than anything in creation. And it must have been more knowledgeable than anything in creation. There couldn't have been anything in creation that can be more knowledgeable than the source that brought the creation to existence. So we have now 2 attributes, power and knowledge. This thing also has to have volition, a will, because it chose to bring the universe into existence. Suddenly it's sounding like this thing is alive. Because only a thing that is alive and has a certain level of what we might call personhood has these attributes. This thing has to determine through its knowledge how much of these fundamental forces required to be.
This is where God's image comes from.
Yes, this is how the Muslims have this firm belief that the source of all things has to be alive and exhibit attributes of an umpteenth level. So in the Quran, when God says, "Or were they created by nothing? Or did they create themselves?" Check it. Don't just throw it away. Just think about it. Right? Were they created by nothing, or did they create themselves, or were they the creators of the heavens and the earth, meaning the universe?
Who are you talking about? People?
Just people in general, but a specific group of people. It says
The idea being that this is right. Gotcha.
Yeah. They have no certainty. They have no certainty of knowledge. It's talking about those people who deny the existence of a God, deny the existence of a source. If they deny it, they have to face up to these 3 imponderables. Number 1, nothing brought about something. Number 2, we were the cause of the universe. Number 3, we were the cause of ourselves. Number 3, we brought the universe about. All 3 are nonsensical. The only other solution is, as God says in the Quran, "Afillahi shak." Is there any doubt in the originator of the universe? So logically and rationally, the Muslims have this firm belief.
I'm with you. Wait, I'm with you. I struggle in being a guy, like a person. The capital H, he. Why is he not a ball of light or nothing or
Whatever it might be,
right?
Whatever this source
It's
might
there.
be, it cannot be deny that this source, its attributes, are as I've described it, and that these attributes can only be understood by way of personhood. Like I said, I'm not asking you to make a paradigm shift outside of irrational to nonsensical things that are unknown. I'm asking you to confine.
No, you've given me a nice argument.
Yeah.
So I don't think
I personally, and we Muslims, we would say that this argument is irrefutable. It's natural.
concrete.
It's something that will
Sounds
affect
like
your
the
heart.
same as the Christians as well.
Yeah, to a certain extent, but I would say that the Quran brings an argument with evidences within the Quran that you won't find in the Bible.
Okay. But that's extremely helpful.
Yeah, I hope so. And so now ask yourself the question, what's our purpose in life then? If we now recognize that there's a source out there that brought us about, right? Should we not be thankful to that source? You have a mother and father, right?
Can he hear us? I don't...
Very good question. Ask yourself, the one that brought the universe into existence, the fact that we hear things, the fact that we see things.
Just to answer this question, in fact, the Quran, which we say is guidance from the source, exactly says, لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ. There's nothing like unto this being, and yet he is all-hearing. Answering your question, can he hear us and all-seeing? So yes, even though you cannot comprehend him, there's nothing
All-hearing,
like him.
all-seeing, all-knowing, he sees you and I.
Think about
So
it.
he sees and hears everything. That's his attribute. Even though his attribute is not like us, unlike anything that you can imagine, and but he has positive attributes. He describes having love and will and power and knowledge and all of these things. And that's how we know and can relate to this creator, this originator, because he created us, he's the creator. He originated us, he's the originator. And because he's done all of these things, he deserves our gratitude. And that relationship between creation and creator of being grateful is the essence of worship. When we say we worship, then we are total and subservient to, and we listen and submit and surrender to what you have to say, because you are the ones who gave us life.
Make sense so far?
Yeah.
Appealing? So do you now appreciate why the Muslims, they wake up in the morning,
Well,
they
I'm
pray
thinking of
5
it from
times a day?
a Christian point of view, but I really appreciate the...
Look, just very quickly in regards to the Christian point of view, because this is very important.
Yeah, please.
Because there are religions out there that say that religion is like the ocean, like the streams that come together and merge into the ocean. Meaning that no matter what religion you choose, it will lead to the truth.
What about the Inappropriate? You know them?
Well, yeah, what about the worshippers of the devil?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, whatever.
Right. The point here being that if we have a purpose in life, it stems from our recognition of the source outside of ourselves. And this source, again, there are certain qualities of it that we can recognize and appreciate that the creation cannot have. So for instance, the creation will always be dependent upon the creator. The creator will never be dependent upon the creation.
Right.
If we as human beings recognize that as an obvious attribute of God, that he is the necessary, not the contingent, nothing from creation deserves worship. Nothing in creation deserves adoration. Thank you for bringing me into existence. Jesus, Muhammad, Waheguru,
Well, Jesus, no,
Krishna,
because he is God.
Parvati, Saraswati, anything from creation. What's your name? Archie, Hamza, Mansoor.
Hamza, Archie.
Nice to meet you. Archie, if we recognize that creation as a whole is dependent upon the creator, nothing in creation is worthy of being thanked, because it is just as fallible and weak as Archie, Hamza and Mansoor.
Isn't Jesus God though?
No.
See, I believe he is.
You see, this is where we try and use our rationale and we try and determine what makes Jesus God.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't like to.
No, we don't need to go into there. But if you ask a Christian, can Jesus exist by himself if the Father did not exist? And you'll see how the Christian, every single Christian in this world, will struggle to answer. The reason why? Because Jesus Christ,
Isn't God eternal?
Jesus Christ is contingent or dependent on the Father begetting him. So if the Father
this
did
is
not
about what you
beget,
said, the worshipping. Okay.
if the Father did
No,
not
that's fair
beget
enough.
Jesus, Jesus
That's
would not
fair
exist.
That's fair enough to the worship.
I mean, think about it like this, Archie. If that's
I mean,
true,
by your argument though, so I'll have to think about
no,
it.
think about it.
Because
Because look, Jesus, whilst he was on this earth, exhibited exactly the qualities that any fallible human being would necessarily. He didn't know the hour. He says that I only do things according to my Father's will. What's the Lord's Prayer? I mean, if that's not an evidence that Jesus is subordinate to the Creator, I don't know what is. Our Father.
No, I agree with you from Munster's point.
So
that's a good.
So here's another thing. What makes Islam so attractive is its consistency of narrative. All the prophets and messengers came to teach exactly the same message. It wasn't this idea that the children of Israel believed it was blasphemy that God should incarnate in the form of a man, whether it be Baal or anyone else.
I just don't find Islam very attractive.
Okay.
Maybe because you haven't thought about what Islam teaches itself. You've only seen practices of certain Muslims who are negatively portraying, and that gives you an impression
I grew up in this country. And
bad Muslims, so Islam must be bad. Yeah?
Britain's a Christian country.
Is it based on Christian values?
Yeah.
So when in Christian teaching, when a woman is married, she cannot get divorced unless it's adultery. Is that based on Christian value in this country? So are you saying we want Christianity in terms of divorce laws implemented? Then they will leave Christianity or they will leave Britain.
Yeah, that's tricky.
Yeah?
It's tricky.
LGBTQ. What did God do to people who are homosexuals? Right. So
Same with you guys, right?
So do we want Christian values and Jewish values implemented in Britain? All LGBTQ people will say we don't want Christianity here.
Slow down. I'm happy you got me with the God thing. This is great. This is great for my brain.
Do you know one of the attributes of God is al-wadud,
Meaning,
the all-loving?
yeah.
So if Islam was about, as you might perceive, as a religion that
Whoa, I'm trying to wrap up.
No problem. I mean, maybe there's a
I'm
bit of homework for you to go away and look at as well.
With the God chat, that was very helpful.
No worries.
I feel better because of it, Munsa Hamza.
Dude, if you have any other questions, we're here every Sunday, as you might know.
I love your articulation. It's great.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, that might be a reason for you to come back and ask us some more questions, right?
Good chat.
Yeah, no worries.
It's okay.
Have a good dialogue.
And we enjoy, guys. Thank you.
Pleasure speaking to you.
All right. Okay, well, I'm stuck in the middle now.
Yeah, go.